keeps it steady, and ups the rating. Trying to fight for the first place. Matthew Brooker knows what he's up to. He says, I know what you're doing, man. Not going to open this door, but it's an impossible door to keep closed as Matthew Brading gets the inside line and opens up half a board length on that turn. And Fish Hoek is now in the lead. Taplin time, folks, here on Fish Hoek Beach for the Rescue Sports Series number 3. And Fish Hoek is going to want to really do a show of force here on their home beach. The last time we had a Taplin race in the Rescue Sports Series was at Clifton, and Clifton took the win there. Remember how Samuel Boyson absolutely put a gun run in there to catch Roman Colonello for the finish and put Fish Hoek into second place for the win at Clifton. But now, payback time, and our athletes are off, and we're going to want to see what happens here. The Taplin is the race that every club wants to win, the relay race. They all want to win. It's a swim, a board, and a ski with a run in between. So you'll run once after the swim, once after the board, and the third time after the ski, and then each of our competitors will do a leg each. So currently going straight into the lead there, Peter Copeland, just one of the solid competitors for Llandudno, isn't he? Just always there, whether it be in the swim or in the run. He's always going to be giving his best for his club, and that is just a hallmark of the Llandudno clubs. You know, every single one of those competitors always just going absolutely as hard as they can. You can see Liam Hemp for the other Llandudno team in there as well. It's the stroke of Troy McWilliam, though, for Clifton. Going into the lead, such a strong swimmer as Troy McWilliam. We've been watching him dominate the swims throughout this Rescue Sports Series, whether it be in the run swim run or in the surf swim. And it is the familiar stroke of Wade Bierkes on his feet. Wade Bierkes having a phenomenal season so far. Just in all his races, doing some solid performances. And he is on Troy McWilliam's feet. Peter Copeland hanging tough there in third place. Bit of an argy-bargy there on the boy there. Jared Cole for one of the Fish Hoek teams. Next to Neil from Llandudno. They come around the last can. Troy McWilliam still in the lead. Wade Bierkes hanging onto his feet. And Peter Copeland hanging tough there for Llandudno in the third place. Those are your top 3 teams. And the rest of our teams currently making their way around this turn can. It is a flat swim. I am 100% certain there's going to be zero body surfing action happening here in this event. Troy McWilliam ups the ante, picks up the stroke rate, and pushing for the beach now. Wade Bierkes is not letting him go away. There is some unfinished business here for the Fish Hoek team. They were under pressure at Clifton and had a great ski paddle by Heath Clark, handed over to his mate Roman Colonello for the run, but got out-sprinted by Samuel Boyson. And Clifton, Samuel Boyson not in their team for this one. It's going to be Jake Hutton's going to be their runner. So Troy McWilliam is going to hand over to Jake Hutton. Jake Hutton, no stranger to going fast. Fish Hoek team has also upskilled and +1 their runner. They got Zach Abrams back in the fray. Zach Abrams is probably fast across the beach. So this is going to be a very interesting run, folks. Troy McWilliam starts his porpoise dive. The runners can't get any deeper than knee deep and hands over to his runner. Jake Hutton, across the beach he goes, running hard around the flag and hands over to his board paddler. It's going to be Matthew Brooker. Well, Matthew Brooker, strong transition by him. And Matthew Brading, look at that, folks, as he comes out the blocks. He's going to try and get onto Matthew Brooker's tail. Matthew Brooker trying to stay up ahead. Matthew Brooker maintaining that gap, but Matthew Brading, it's the Matthew v. the Matthew. Matthew Brading on his tail now. And this does now turn into a very interesting tactical board race here, folks. in third place there. It's going to be a race for third. We see 3 teams just can't pick up the skull caps there in the glare. We focus now on the front end of the race here, as Matthew Brooker leads out Clifton and Fish Hoek in second place currently. Clifton obviously would want to back up their win from the Clifton competition. Whoa! A move being made here as Matthew Brooker goes down onto his stomach, and Matthew Brading comes up onto his inside. Tactical maneuver there, because the inside line's the one you want. Just keeps it steady and ups the rating. Trying to fight for the first place. Matthew Brooker knows what he's up to. He says, I know what you're doing, man. Not going to open this door, but it's an impossible door to keep closed as Matthew Brading gets the inside line and opens up half a board length on that turn. And Fish Hoek is now in the lead. Onto his knees he goes. The wind has switched a tiny bit, so it's coming from the back now and not going into a headwind anymore. As we can see, Llandudno, their board paddler, Noah Maton, is now putting them in a strong position. Fish Hoek's Joseph Brading is on his tail. Matthew Brading, content to sit on Matthew Brooker's tail wash into the board cans, does a move on the second turn can there and goes into the lead and has now opened up that lead. Takes a little bit of a look behind in hope. That's what hope and looks like, folks. You know there's nothing happening, but looking for a wave. Anyway, Matthew Brooker gets a bit of a bump onto his tail, but it's going to open up the door for Matthew Brading, who now goes into the shallow water. Bunny hop, and hands over to Zach. Now that is how you transition, folks. Zach Abrams, he wants a top step on the totem here. Runs up to the beach, up and around, and he's going to hand over to their ski paddler. It's Cody Stellard, folks. Cody Stellard, no stranger to a ski start and double leg jump there. Into the ski he goes. But Clifton, Tyne van Achtenberg, knows what he needs to do. Tyne van Achtenberg knows that he needs to get onto Cody Stellard's tail if he has any hope here of taking a win. Tyne van Achtenberg, great start by him onto Cody Stellard's tail. Cody Stellard in the lead, slows down the stroke rate, powerful strokes. Oh, folks, what a transition there by Zach Abrams. Just putting the Clifton team under pressure. Jake Hutton did fantastically well there to get Tyne van Achtenberg onto Cody Stellard's tail. And this race, far from over as we go into the last bit of the ski race here. Great footage of Cody Stellard now just relaxing a little bit, conserving a bit of energy, catching his breath. He knows Tyne van Achtenberg is right behind him, and you know anything can change. These surf skis can pick up the tiniest of swells. Tyne van Achtenberg comes onto the right hand side there, maybe looking for a bit of a gap coming in around the boys. Cody Stellard, let's see what happens here on the apex. He's going to want a clean turn, but also not want to open up the door. He goes out wide and does a tight turn on the buoy there. Leaves a little bit of water open. Didn't want to get Tyne van Achtenberg's nose under his paddle. He's clean around, smooth, hardly loses a gap. But Tyne van Achtenberg better up the pace, because coming in on his tail, what a paddle there. Johnny Lucas. Johnny Lucas does an absolutely amazing paddle, almost paddling away here from Samuel Mocker for the Fish Hoek junior team. Cody Stellard pulls away from Tyne van Achtenberg. Cody Stellard now racing for the line here. He knows this is where all the moves are made. Drops Tyne van Achtenberg, and Tyne van Achtenberg better watch his P's and Q's here as Johnny Lucas for Llandudno comes up onto his left-hand side. Tail end of the Taplin race here for the men. The tiniest of swells running towards the beach. Cody Stellard picks up on it. He has a look behind, and he knows that this race is all but sewn up. He's going to hand over to Zach Abrams. Zach Abrams, knee deep water, hands over, and they've got the lead, but he's going to give it full throttle. He puts that pedal into the corner, and Fish Hoek is going to take the win here for the Taplin race on their home beach. What a race there by the Fish Hoek Taplin team. Second place. Oh, look at this run for the line. Jake Hudson versus Kai Feister. That is going to be one for the judges. But it looks like Llandudno might have taken it on the line there from Jake Hutton. Let's hear from our winners here, folks.
Yeah, the race was very tough. The competition was very good, very tight. The boys definitely brought it in and they brought it home. So yeah.
Oh, watching some of the highlights here for the minor placings. At a junior team from Fish Hoek taking a 4th place there. So confirmation the results there. It's a Fish Hoek A team, Taplin Relay A team, Llandudno A team in 2nd place, and the Clifton A team for 3rd place. Throwing a cat amongst the pigeons here, going into the Western Cape Champs in a few weekends' time. Watch this space, folks. It's going to be a Taplin race to end all Taplin races.